So that's basically the damage that we have from this build. I'm gonna walk you guys through what I have currently when I'm playing. Not a build guide, but I wanted to update you guys on my current progression and what I'm doing. So, essentially, what we're doing is we're playing Spectres now. I currently have atrocious defenses. I have horrible, horrible gear, but I want to go through the gear first so you guys get a picture of it. I have like almost nothing in terms of defenses. So every now and then, I might end up dying. And right now, my process is to progress maps, get some currency, gear my character up, get my defenses sorted for once, okay? But one of the issues we had with skeletal approaches, the skeletal storm mages, arsonists, frost mages, all of that, I think they will perform very well, but one of the biggest issues I had was that they kept dying. So we had about 2,000 life, whatever it was, or something like that with a similar gear. And the Spectres I'm using, they have, right now, they have 5.6 thousand life. So they don't die as often. However, they have another thing happening. If I outrun them, watch this. See that little beam that came through? When you outrun minions, they die and get resurrected next to you. Spectres have another mechanic where if you're not too fast blinking and they get to just before outranging you to die, they turn into a wisp and fly to you really fast, which is really nice. Except that sometimes they get stuck in that wisp form and they don't move all the way to you, like this motherfucker right there. So either you have to outrange that one for it to die to come back, or you have to move up to it for it to come back. That's a bug. Really annoying, but I wanted to point it out. So, I made some changes on the skill tree. I'm going to walk you guys through what I have right now and my plans moving forward and what I'm currently going to be playing with. I will keep playing with these specific Spectres, which I'll explain where to get them and all that in a second. And once I've got my defenses up and a little bit better gear, I'll do the next ascendancy. That's when I'll stop everything I'm doing and test new Spectres again. Because we have a very, very, very big list of Spectres to cover. Here's the document for that, which has not all of them yet. There's like 500 or something in here. We're making lists. We're adding things to this. I'll leave a link in the descriptions down below to this document, of course, and take it from there. Skill tree wise, right? So first off, we have a leveling guide, by the way, being posted it's going to be on the PoeVault website. We're going to start with Necromantic Conduit, then Soulless Form. I am most likely going to be taking Eternal Life as my next ascendancy for further damage mitigation. That's basically my current plan, at least. As we're going to move into more energy shield, I'm currently running with a block-oriented focus, but the gear I'll be trying to get will be focusing on energy shield evasion, as I'll be moving over to that type of playstyle later on. So we go for minion nodes. We have not all of these defensive resurrection nodes because our minions shouldn't be dying that often anymore with this setup, hopefully. And then we go straight up to get the Vile Mending for more defenses, so we can pick these nodes up, which is the next course of action that I'll be doing. And in here, we make sure we grab the Relentless Fallen. I picked up Necrotic Flesh for better HP for our minions as well. However, I did pick up Fear of Death. This is because mainly for the SRS, or the Raging Spirit, as they're called in PoE2. I don't have a jewel socket in here at the moment. I took some crit nodes, minion res, get the attribute. I'll be picking up the damage nodes, and after I'm done with that, I'll be grabbing this energy shield. I'll grab these energy shield nodes. That's basically the approach. And then I'll probably connect through this circle here to get here, and we'll cut these 3 travel nodes when I get to that point. But that is much higher level. Lord of Horrors, Reservation, go to the left, pick up all of the mini nodes, and then grab the defensive shield as well as increased block chance, and probably these 2 extra nodes as well for more block chance. Currently sitting on 50% blocks. I'll bring that up to about 55%, yes. I believe it will be. So that's basically the tree. Gear-wise that I'm currently running, this is an MTX on my Scepter, so it's not a unique weapon, it's just a rare Scepter. Spirit, +2 level of minions. I'm going to try to get a +3 or +4 later, but that's obviously the endgame approach. Helmet, get a +2 level of minion helmets. Priority on Amulet is + level minions, then Spirit, and then every other stat. I only have +2 right now. Shield, best modifier in my opinion would be to have increased chance to block, then life and resistance as an attribute. We have boots, obviously priority on movement speed, then life and resistances. My res is terrible, so all my gear sucks. Life, stats, resistances, charm slots. I have almost nothing. This belt can be used for level 17. Again, my gear is terrible. I have 47 life from my gloves, but I get 6% rarity, I guess. Again, terrible. Enfolding Dawn is actually something I could recommend people to use on a Lich. We don't really have issues with mana once you have the second ascendancy, so Enfolding Dawn is actually pretty good to use early on, and even in mapping on an Infernalist, you normally don't want to use Enfolding Dawn when you get to end game maps or end of campaign, but it's really good before that. Before the Lich, it's actually pretty good to use for a longer time. I will move this over to a rare chest, but that's going to cost me 50 spirits. But for now, we're going to use this. Rings, just stats, life, rest, which I basically have none of on this one, but I got a bit better on this ring at least. You know, you can laugh all you want. Please don't comment down below in the comment section about it. Like, I don't want to hear it. I know my gear sucks, okay? Anyways, quest rewards. Mana Regen on the Venom Crypt in normal, and Chaos Resistance in cruel. Skill-wise, currently, like, these are all subject to change. I'm just walking you guys through what I'm currently running and my plans moving forward. I currently have Meat Shield, Sacrificial Lamb. That actually reminds me of something I talked about earlier on stream, and that is that I don't have Last Gasp in here. So we have Meat Shield, Sacrificial Lamb, which makes it so that my offering targets my Skeletal Warriors. These are coming from the actual Rattling Scepter. Only use 2, unless you can't get anything of value down here. In that case, you use 3. And then Last Gasp is pretty nice. This one is my offhand. Doesn't matter for this build. Pain Offering, we're running Font of Rage, Font of Blood. Blink, I'm using Second Wind with Ingenuity. Withering Presence, I have with Persistence to make sure that those stacks goes up. This is super valuable. And I've come to the conclusion that Withering Touch support on a damaging minion is completely irrelevant. It's super bad, but Withering Presence is really good for Liches. And we want to make sure we emphasize on this, that if you hover over this with hold down Alt and hover over Presence, you'll see a circle around the character to see how far this radius actually is. It's quite significant when you have the nodes on the tree. Despair Curse with Focus Curse, Hex Bloom, and then Arcane Tempo is a personal preference. I like using it. You can even put this in Ember Fusillade if you want to. It's perfectly fine as well, but that's what I'm running right now. Ember Fusillade, we have either Unleash or Scatter, but in this case, we will be using Unleash because Scatter will be used on our Spectres. This means that every click will allow us to get 2 SRSs out instead of 1. Scattershot will do the same thing, but we'll use Unleash. And then we have Fast Forward to make sure that this pops as fast as possible, and then you can have Arcane Tempo if you want to. The playstyle is quite significantly, quite important, rather, is the word I was looking for, to how to learn how to play Ember Fusillade. If I click once, I will summon 2 SRSs. If I click down, casting twice, I will summon 4 instead. And that's how it's going to be played. So you basically want to tap it a little bit, move, let them fly on enemies, tap it a little bit, let them fly. So that's basically how you have to get a flow. You have to like get the flow in order to feel that, make that feel comfortable. We're using 1 Skeletal Cleric if there is enough room for it, but it is recommended since we're no longer speccing into a bunch of revive nodes. This guy will resurrect one of your skeletal, one of your undead minions, which is basically your skeletons. Which is your Meat Shield army blocking enemies in the front line, which you're sacrificing with your offering, and he will have a 3-second cooldown on this, and that's perfectly fine. So using 1 cleric, what does it cost? 17 spirit. It is recommended. Please do that. Then we have Radiant Spirits, in which I'm using Feeding Frenzy, Elemental Focus, and Minion Mastery at the moment. And then we have the Spectres, which are the Volguard, which I'm using Scatter Shot, Fire Infusion, Martial Tempo. I'm not sure what I'll use on the last one. I'm definitely not going to use Magnified Effect anymore. That was my original plan. It's not needed. However, I'm not really sure. Maybe a Mastery, maybe move this into there and use a Primal Armament. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll use something else for damage. I haven't really decided yet. So these Spectres are quite interesting. They are basic attack, oil grenade, explosive grenade. It's kind of weird the way they work, but essentially they are always using the explosive grenade, and every now and then they cast out oil grenade. Oil grenade puts fire exposure for free on the enemies. The explosive grenade is a collateral shotgunning effect, which have pretty big AoE with a lingering fire ignition and ground effect, which is crazy bad for your eyes. So make sure you wear your sunglasses playing the build. Basically, these guys just want to watch the world burn. Literally. So yeah, visual clarity is thrown out the window. But then again, everybody knows that when you play Path of Exile, the less you see in the screen, the better your build is. So they're pretty fucking good. We might find better Spectres when we test out more, but right now they're actually performing. They do very good single target damage, and the clear is pretty comfortable together with the Radiant Spirits. Where do you find these by the fuckers then? You'll go to Act 3. In the Utsal Past is where you can find them. This is like the main place to pick them up. You can pick them up in the Secret Refuge, but Utsal and Library Kamasa, that's basically where you want to find them. Keep in mind it's similar to the undead variant of these, which you'll find in the Quani Sanctum. There is going to be different versions of these with the exact same name. There's two things to look for. One, they will be wearing a bow, and they will shoot a range attack. They will not be the melee versions. Two, they have a base cost of spirit of 50 spirits. So when you bind these to your Spectre gem, make sure it's 50 spirit, and make sure you check that they're actually wearing a bow, and you'll be able to have the correct one. That is my current progression. And like I said before, I'm currently going to be going through the progression of the endgame map system at the moment, engage with that, gear my character, get some currency, and I'll see how my character will be once I have some better defenses. Once I feel comfortable with that, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and continue testing new Spectres. That's my current progression. Hope you guys enjoyed this little rundown of my current state of the character for the endgame on the Summoner Spectre Lich. Let's not waste anyone's time. And do me a favor, I know it works a lot more than you might think, but just hit the like button and do subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment down below what you think of the build or what you're starting at, because that really helps the algorithm. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe and keep rocking.